We need to talk about the meta, or more accurately, what a meta is. A meta is actually an acronym for the most effective tactic available. It's what the game is like when it's played at its absolute peak of min-maxing. What I hate about meta talk is that everyone talks about the meta, but realistically, the meta only affects the top 1% of players at best. For me personally, the highest I ever ended a season checkpoint was at the top 0.09% of players, and I would say you don't even feel the meta until the top 0.4%. This is why I hate tier lists. Tier lists are toxic to the community. It holds players back from taking responsibility, and it offers a scapegoat for their own bad plays. I've seen it happen a lot for both myself and my friends, where players are quick to blame the non-meta heroes on their team comp instead of the fundamental mistakes that people are making in the game. You'll see a player walk forward and die 3 times in a row and then blame the non-meta hero player on their team for holding them back. Tier lists are what characters get the most value with the least amount of effort at the highest ranks. You will have people in gold saying heroes are bad when the tier lists don't apply to them. In the lower ranks, you're still working on the fundamentals, using cover, resource management, ult tracking, etc. There's also going to be different metas for ranked play and pro play. Pros are the best ones to actually figure out what is strong when it comes to team coordination. There are many heroes that might seem low tier in ranked but are amazing in pro play. Metas are also only the most effective and widely known at that time. Metas can always change even when a game hasn't been touched in years. Sometimes players just need time and creativity in order to figure out what works better. But locking yourself into only one way to play holds you back. And if you've ever watched my videos or my streams, you might notice I never really play the meta heroes of the season. I do this because typically those heroes are banned, and I want to prove that it's how you play and not what you play. And the benefit to playing non-meta heroes is that people don't know how to play against them. They don't know what to expect. Even after hearing all of this, meta is only the most effective. It's not guaranteed. What matters most is still how you play the game. You need to always remember you're not playing against an AI, you're playing against people, and people make mistakes. I'm making this video because the game is actually fun, and I would say it's fun for about 99% of people. I think it just gets lost when we see content creators and pros talk about the game at the highest level. And while they do have valid complaints, the game that they're playing is very different than the game that you're playing. Don't get sucked up into the doom and gloom of people who play this game for a living. Don't get hung up on tier lists or meta conversations and focus on the learning aspect, because the fun of video games is learning. It's having that aha moment when something clicks and you level up your own gameplay. Just the same as if you're playing a single player game, you're trying to figure out a boss's pattern in order to advance to the next level. In multiplayer games, you're trying to figure out what is lacking from your own gameplay in order to advance. So you want to try and focus on that and focus on those fundamentals before you start thinking about what is meta. Ignore the doom and gloom, because I really do believe that when Rivals is played at its best, when a team is working together and they're coordinating their attacks, it really is a lot of fun. The biggest problems I have with the game is not the meta or even the balance as much as it is the community. People fall back too quickly to whatever is meta or triple support, and they forget that on the other end of that monitor, they're playing against another person. And at the end of the day, what you're always trying to do is outplay the people on the other side. If you're in the ranks of One Above All, Eternity, or Upper Celestial, this video probably doesn't apply to you. But for everyone else who's still trying to get up to those upper ranks, focus on those fundamentals, because those fundamentals are what is needed to actually carry you to get up there in the first place. So ignore the doom and gloom and just focus on learning. Try to keep stepping up your own gameplay and improving, because the game is actually fun whenever you're learning. It's a big reason why once people get to the high ranks, they start to get bored and start to learn a new hero. And hero shooters are so much fun because of the fact that there's so many choices of different heroes. Sometimes all you need a refresher to make the game fun again is just learning someone new. And for a lot of people, especially content creators and pros, the game can become miserable after a while. But that's because what used to be their hobby and something they used to do for fun, they now have to do for work. And working just sucks. And take it from me, as someone who turned their hobby into a career, well, it's still better than a lot of other jobs. When you turn your hobby into your job, it takes away the fun and joy out of that hobby. I know a lot of other content creators might not be having as much fun right now, but as someone who learned Magic during Flyer meta and I learned Cap in Season 1, and this season I'm playing a lot of Rogue because I'm just having a lot of fun with her, despite the fact that people think that playing Tank sucks. I have always found ways to enjoy each season, despite the fact that people seem upset every season. There is a lot of fun in this game if you know to look for it. So that being said, I hope this gave everyone something to think about. I hope that we can stop being slaves to the meta and these tier list conversations, because if someone on your team in gold is playing Rogue or Penny, that's not the reason you're being held back. Learn the fundamentals before you learn the meta. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video. If you have any stories of climbing with non-meta heroes, I would love to hear about it in the comments, because I love hearing a good underdog story. And thank you for watching.